a quick tutorial on selecting radios for AERPAW. So what we have here, it's a very simple experiment with one portable node is node 1, M1, we are in the EVM of M1 here, M2 over here, and then the audio console confirms M1 as a portable node of the vehicle, and 2 is a fixed node of some sort. And to select a radio, two things you have to do. So first of all, in each node that you want to enable a radio in, edit the start experiment script. Right? So you edit and you go and enable, right? By default, all three scripts, the radio, the traffic, and the vehicle are disabled, right? So by default, the node doesn't do anything. You wanna enable the radio, uncomment the start radio, and you do the same for this. So you max start experiment, and you go at the bottom, uncomment, save, exit, right? So now the radio is enabled, but still by default there is no choice in what you do. The most important thing is to decide which role each of the nodes is going to play. So who is going to play what? In our case, what I want to show you is how to set up LTE base station on node 2 and then LTE UE on node 1, which is the portable node. So to do that, you go into profiles, profile scripts, radio, and in this directory there are two subdirectories. There is helpers and samples, and if you look into samples, you'll see there are actually a lot of different options. Let me run this again. A lot of different options, so you can start all kinds of scripts. In our case, the two scripts that are relevant are UE, start SRN UE for node 1, and then start SRSRAN SISO EPCN in node B for node 2. Right? So to select this one, which is SRSRAN SISO UE, simply go copy from samples and then select start SRS RAN SISO UE into start radio.sh. Okay. And similarly here, change directory to profiles, profile scripts, radio, and copy from the same directory, which is samples, SRS, start SRS RAN SISO EPCN in node B into start radio.sh. And now we can go back to the root directory and we're ready to start the experiment. For a proper start for LTE, we should start the base station first. So I'm gonna go here, start experiment. Actually, before that, let me show you there is nothing else running. There is nothing else running, so I'm just gonna start here, start experiment.sh. And what this started in the background is the two relevant processes. So if I run again, screen -ls, you'll see there is the EPC, the packet core, and then in node B, which is a radio in node B. And we can look to see what's going on with the radio in node B. So if I go screen -retrieve radio in node B, you will see that it founded the UHD, which is our virtual USRP, and it set the sample rate and then setting the frequency, and now it stays put until we're running a UE. So in here, I'm gonna start the UE by saying start experiment.sh. Again, if you look at screen minus ls, it's gonna show you that it has a radio screen. You'll see that the radio already connected there, so you can go screen minus R. It's going to show you this is the what the UE sees. It's a pretty consistent RSRP, and this is what's going on. So you have them running. You can let them running in the background. Control AD detaches from that. Control AD detaches from that. I can recall them at any time to see what's going on. And if you want to terminate, you can say all stop experiment. And what's going to happen is both of them are going to be terminated. If you want to run other things other than UE and in node B, simply copy a different script into the start radio. Okay? So in the same profile directory, profile scripts radio. If you look at samples, you see you could, for example, set one as a channel sounder transmitter and the other one as a channel sounder receiver, or an OFDM transmitter receiver, and so on. Exact documentation for each of them is in the corresponding manual page. So if you look, for example, for SRSRAN, this is the manual page for SRSRAN, and you can change all kinds of parameters for this particular radio.